9:30 here in New York, 8:30 in Chicago, where an illegal immigrant now in custody for allegedly firing shots at Border Patrol agents over the weekend. The feds say he's an illegal alien out of Mexico with a long criminal history. Mike Tobin's got more on that. This time yesterday, we had no idea where this guy was. Mike, good morning to you. It's changed.
And they say they got him. The headline in the Chicago Tribune this morning, Bill, is that Border Patrol is soon going to be leaving Chicago. I spoke with Chief Bovino this morning. He walked back that headline a bit, saying the fact that he may leave Chicago soon is possible and likely, but final plans are not concrete. And the very fact that future operations showed up in the headline of a newspaper could change things. And it does not mean that the enhanced immigration enforcement named Operation Midway Blitz is over. Border Patrol will maintain a presence in Chicago for a long time, he says, and ICE is a separate entity under the Department of Homeland Security. ICE has a permanent presence in Chicago and, according to DHS, is not changing posture. What has changed, according to Border Patrol, is the environment in which they work. Border Patrol and DHS blame the rhetoric coming from Illinois leaders, calling them everything from barbarians to Nazis for the fact that they're regularly mobbed. Civilian cars chased them down and rammed their vehicles, and on Saturday, they took gunfire.
Vehicle rammings, physical assaults, now gunshots, bricks being thrown from roofs, and that type of thing. That's got to stop. That violent rhetoric, that word liar, that word barbarian, and that word Nazi, that has to stop. If it doesn't, as Tom Homan said, there's going to be bloodshed.
Now, Tricia McLaughlin with DHS put out a statement today that they're not leaving Chicago and noted that since the start of Midway Blitz, homicides are down 16%, shootings are down 35%, robberies down 41%, carjackings down 48%, transit crime down 20%. And if you look at the numbers from the mayor's own dashboard, they're even more dramatic. Gary McCarthy is the former police superintendent here in Chicago, and he told me that the bellwether for how crime impacts the average citizen is robbery. And if you look at the mayor's own numbers, robberies are down 44%.
Wow. Okay, big change there, Mike. Thank you, sir. Winter come soon.
Got it.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Ron Vitiello. He's a senior advisor with Customs and Border Protection. Can we talk about those numbers real quickly? The proof is in the pudding. If the numbers are down by that much, robberies down 44% seems significant, and that the citizens would be benefiting.
100%. You cannot replace boots on the ground. More cops arresting more criminals across the city, including the federal response, CBP officers, Border Patrol agents, ICE officials out there doing their job, protecting the city, despite the political rhetoric and despite the violence that they're actually facing. It's going to lower crime because you have more cops on the road.
I want to play two things for you. One is from an alderman in Chicago, and the other is from Mayor Johnson. I'm going to play these back to back. Mayor Johnson came to the United Nations Human Rights Council to plead his case about ICE. But let's start with Alderman Michael Rodriguez here.
We're here on 26th and Pulaski. ICE is causing all sorts of mayhem in the neighborhood. We want everyone to stay safe. They're doing things that are unconstitutional, that are illegal. They are causing fear and mayhem in our communities, and that's unacceptable.
In Chicago, we live with the consequences of that moral failure every day. Families torn apart by immigration raids that have targeted daycare teachers, rideshare drivers, and restaurant cooks. Honest, hardworking, law-abiding people who contribute to the soul of Chicago, who literally make our city run.
How do you respond to that?
Well, if the city was well run, they wouldn't have $1 billion deficit going into another year of $1 billion deficit. They spend $17 billion of the taxpayers' money. You can see that they don't spend it on controlling crime. Mayor Johnson and the councilman that was just there, they could easily pass a law to cooperate directly with ICE. What would that mean? That would mean anybody that was arrested in Chicago for crimes who was also in the country illegally could be put on a path for removal. That would lower the activity necessary for our officers to go out on the street and arrest people at large. They could reduce that problem if it is a problem enforcing the law with federal authority. If that's a problem for them, they can take those people out of the jail. The city can change that in a minute, but they refuse to do it because they would rather have the chaos. They would rather stand up for their woke base. And listen, we tried for 4 years under President Biden for a chaotic border. Thousands of millions of people probably came to the state of Illinois and into the city. They were sleeping on the floor in police stations and in airport terminals. It was a total disaster. And actually what the mayor's asking for, what that councilman is asking for, is more of that same chaos. And what the President Trump is doing, what Kristi Noem is doing, what the ICE and CBP officers are doing, they're trying to protect that city despite the political rhetoric that they're facing.
Ron, what do you know about this suggestion that Customs and Border Protection will be leaving Chicago and being deployed elsewhere?
This mission will continue. We will continue to have a prioritization for getting the worst of the worst out of every single city in the United States. And if they're going to take a break out of Chicago, or if they're going to do use different tactics, the mission will continue at every level.
All right, Ron. The last thing I would ask you is, do you know about the morale of the officers?
Well, it's up. You can look at applications to the website to take the Border Patrol exam. ICE is doing record numbers in recruiting and hiring. We are doing the same here at CBP. Morale is off the charts because they know they have someone in the Oval Office that has their back. They know they have leadership at the department that wants them to succeed. They've been given the tools by the executive branch, as well as resources from Congress and the one big beautiful bill, as the president says. And we're going to continue to deploy those resources to protect the homeland and make American cities safe.
Ron, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We'll follow the story, and especially those crime stats. Thank you.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.